All right, Rick, the last boat that we want to show everybody is the Dorado. She's 23 feet long. There's no top, which I like this. I mean, you can get it with the top, with the T-top, or with the tower like we've seen already, but I love this open design.
You're a no T-top guy. You know, I mean, there's different kinds of candy bars. Me, I need to stay handsome at all times, so being under a T-top helps me with that. But I tell you what, there's a lot of functional reasons not to have a T-top or a tower.
There really are. And talking about function, this boat has the same function as the other two that we saw. Rough water capability, get your way back up in the shallows or anywhere in between.
This boat, very big water capable, but may float a little shallower. Remember, you start adding the weights of T-tops and towers and things like that. Everything's a trade-off. Every 100 pounds you put on your boat, she sits a little lower in the water.
It does, but you know what? Let's go through some of the interior features on this boat and see how it compares to the other two that we brought.
You know what makes this an excellent representative of the hybrid bay boat, if you will, Dave? It's got a raised casting platform. The 23 Dorado is the perfect height casting platform for me. When I stand up here, I can see further, I can cast further, but I'm still secure with my legs against this coaming bolster.
Well, what I love about this boat, here again, we're talking about versatility. She's 23 feet long, but a nice open design like this, it's got provisions for a bow-mounted trolling motor. I could see myself trolling for dolphin in this boat, hitting the beach for kingfish, hitting the backcountry, taking it to the Keys. I can take this boat lobstering on mini season. I would even take this boat to Lake Okeechobee with a bow mount trolling motor and go chase bass.
But you wouldn't do that any faster than I'd run it across the Bahamas on a pretty day.
Exactly, 23-foot boat, a lot of versatility in this style of boat. There's a lot of 23-foot boats out there, but they really wouldn't do everything this boat will do. All right, let's look at some of the features that are built into this 23 Dorado.
Dave, we talked about the height of this casting platform. I love it. But one of the reasons for having casting platform, we got plenty of storage underneath.
Well, you really do. She's only 23 feet long, but anything that you were going to take to the islands, let's say you're going to go for a week, it all fit right here under the bow.
Big hatches, big access, easy to get stuff in and out of. Dave, we've seen a lot of these new kind of rod holders that they got on these Dorados that are actually a combination drink and rod holder, and they've got them up here in the bow where people fish, where they should have been from ever since we started building boats.
Rick, you know what I love about the console in this Dorado? It's the size of it. Even a guy with your stature can see over it easy, but really, it's not the height, it's just the overall size. So many 23-foot boats put these big, giant, overpowering consoles, and I understand, you know, for access to a potty and stuff, but a console this size, it's everything you need it to be. It gives you so much more room to walk around, so if not having a potty inside the boat is really not that big of a deal, wow, this really fits.
I tell you what people don't take into account real often. Look how wide it is from the side of the console to the gunnel, okay? Two guys fighting fish going in opposite directions. They can pass each other, no problem.
All right, Rick, you know what? The seat has a built-in live well, which we see a lot on boats, but really that's where the live well belongs.
It is, because it's in the center of the boat, and it's the center of gravity. That's where you want the heaviest part of your boat. So it's well thought out when it's there. I've never liked them on the sides of the boat, never will. But Dave, I tell you what, I like what they did with the stern seating too, because we've talked about it on other models and other genres. That's the most comfortable place to sit on the boat.
Here again, you'll see a porta bracket. All of these boats in the same genre are all going to use a porta bracket for the same features we've already talked about. One thing that's pretty cool, they actually attach their power pole to the porta bracket. That way you're not putting any more holes in your boat, and it gets it even further back behind the engine.
Well, obviously you've taught me the advantages of those, and I really like it. I'll tell you what. The idea of setting it back and having the water come up to the motor, setting the motor back and having the water come up to it, a lot of validity to it. It helps you run a lot shallower. All right, Dave, let's give an overall on the 23 Dorado. One of the first things I like best, I like the height of the casting platform. It's not so tall that you feel unstable for us old guys, and it's tall enough to give you a better cast and a better vision out front with plenty of storage beneath it.
Right, as we work our way back, I love the size of this console. It's as big as it needs to be, but it doesn't overpower the boat. Easy to walk around. Like you said, two of us can walk past at the same time, and really, it fits the boat. If you had a bigger console in this boat, it would look a little bit out of place.
I like the basic rocket launcher like this.
I do too, and you know what? The back of the boat, there's plenty of room behind there in the cockpit. 2 guys, 3 guys can get back there and bottom fish or check out their trolling rods. I love that little bit of a barrel shape in the transom. It really adds a lot of flair to the boat because, like we had said earlier, the old classic style of this boat, it just looks good.
It does, Dave, but let's talk about it. It's smaller, okay, than the other boats that we looked at today. It's lower sided, but that also makes it easier to trailer, drafts less water, run it with less horsepower, and a lot less cost of maintenance.
No, it really does. It gives you the function of all the boats that we looked at. If you want this style of boat in a hybrid bay boat that you can do light offshore, you can do inshore, you can do a little snorkeling, a little diving, really anything you want to do in the boat, this size boat may just be a good fit.